It's experience, and we think to combine everything together, we are looking forward to a fantastic future of Bugatti.
Let's be realistic. Making hypercars is not going to change the world.
Something significant just happened in the automotive world, and most people haven't connected the dots yet. Porsche has sold its entire stake in Bugatti Rimac, completely walking away from one of the most iconic hypercar brands on the planet. And the timing, coming just months after YouTuber Matt Armstrong's viral exposés humiliated Bugatti's leadership and dismantled the myth of their exclusivity, has the automotive community asking a very uncomfortable question. Did a guy rebuilding a wrecked Bugatti in a Florida body shop actually shake a multi-billion-dollar corporation loose from one of its crown jewels? Let's break down exactly what happened, why Porsche sold, and what this means for Bugatti's future. The announcement came directly from Porsche. They sold two things simultaneously: their 45% stake in Bugatti Rimac and their 20.6% minority stake in Rimac Group as a whole. The buyer is a consortium led by HOF Capital, a New York-based investment firm, with Blue 5 Capital as the largest individual investor, backed by institutional money spread across the US and EU. What that means in plain terms, Bugatti is no longer a Volkswagen Group brand. For the first time since 1998, Bugatti operates completely independently. No Stuttgart, no Wolfsburg, no corporate safety net from one of the world's largest automotive manufacturers. The brand is now privately backed by investors whose core business has nothing to do with building cars. To understand why that's significant, you need a little history. Ferdinand Piëch acquired Bugatti in 1998 and folded it into Volkswagen Group, which then spent billions developing the Veyron, an engineering moonshot that barely made financial sense but cemented VW's reputation for technical audacity. For nearly 3 decades, Bugatti operated as a prestige asset inside the VW empire, a brand that existed to prove what was possible rather than to turn a conventional profit. That changed in 2021, when Porsche restructured the arrangement by forming a joint venture with Croatian electric vehicle company Rimac Group, owned and operated by entrepreneur Mate Rimac. The new entity, Bugatti Rimac, gave Porsche a 45% stake while Mate Rimac controlled the rest. It looked like a smart move. Pair a legendary combustion hypercar brand with an emerging EV technology company and create something future-proof. Now, just 4 years later, Porsche has sold everything. Porsche's reasoning is straightforward and, frankly, brutal. In 2025, Porsche's operating profits collapsed by 93% year-over-year. That's not a typo, 93%. A confluence of factors hit simultaneously: slowing EV demand across Europe, rising production costs, and a broader restructuring crisis rippling through the entire Volkswagen Group. The situation was severe enough that Porsche brought in a new CEO, Oliver Blume's successor Michael Steiner, with a single mandate: restore profitability and refocus the business on its core products. In that environment, holding a 45% stake in a hypercar joint venture and a minority position in a Croatian EV startup became very difficult to justify. Bugatti Rimac wasn't generating meaningful returns. Rimac Group, despite impressive technology, wasn't profitable either. When you're facing a near total profit collapse, you sell what you can sell, and you focus on what made you great. For Porsche, that means the 911, the Cayenne, and the Taycan, not Chirons. So they sold. That's the official story, and on pure financial terms, it makes complete sense. But the automotive community has a different theory running alongside it. If you haven't followed Matt Armstrong's Bugatti rebuild saga, here's the short version. Matt purchased a severely damaged Bugatti Chiron, a car that Mate Rimac himself made a public video about, claiming it could not be properly repaired outside of Bugatti's own specialized facilities. The implication was clear: total losses are total losses. Independent repair is impossible. Only 3 facilities in the entire world are equipped to handle a Bugatti properly. Matt Armstrong decided to find out if that was actually true. Working out of a Florida body shop with a team of skilled specialists, Matt and his crew split the Chiron's carbon fiber monocoque. The procedure Rimac claimed required factory-level infrastructure, and rebuilt it from the ground up. When Bugatti refused to sell replacement parts directly, Matt's team fabricated them. When they needed airbags, they discovered something remarkable. The Bugatti's airbag components carried the same part numbers as those found in an Audi A3. Not Bugatti specific, not bespoke. Audi A3. The implications of that discovery were enormous. Bugatti has long justified its staggering ownership costs, routine services that run into 5 figures, parts with eye-watering markups, on the premise of exclusivity. These aren't just cars. They're handcrafted engineering marvels, utterly unique, impossible to replicate outside official channels. Matt's rebuild systematically dismantled that premise. The Chiron isn't entirely a Bugatti. Large portions of it are rebadged Volkswagen Group components, Audi parts, Bentley parts, parts pulled from the same shared shelf that supplies ordinary production vehicles. The chassis, meanwhile, was welded back together by Matt's fabricator Bob, better than factory specification, according to subsequent inspection, in a rented body shop. Not one of the 3 facilities in the world. And then there was the Veyron. Matt had previously documented a Bugatti Veyron that had been quoted a figure approaching $300,000 to repair its gearbox. The actual fault? A blown fuse worth a few dollars. The gearbox was fine. The part that failed was trivial. The repair bill that Bugatti's service network had generated bore no rational relationship to the actual problem. These videos racked up tens of millions of views. The comment sections filled with people who had spent years assuming that Bugatti's premium service costs were justified by genuine technical complexity. Matt proved they weren't, or at least not entirely. The exclusivity wasn't purely engineering. Some of it was theater. When Porsche's sale was announced, automotive forums and comment sections immediately drew the connection. One commenter noted the irony directly. Matt proved that Bugatti components are Volkswagen parts, and now Bugatti is no longer a Volkswagen brand. The badge has changed, but the part spin hasn't. Another said simply that Matt Armstrong owns Bugatti now, not literally, but reputationally. He owns the narrative. He proved that the emperor had fewer clothes than advertised, and that story is now permanently attached to the brand. Others pointed to mate Rimac specifically, suggesting that this outcome might actually benefit him. Free from Porsche's oversight and Volkswagen Group's corporate politics, Rimac now controls Bugatti entirely on his own terms. He can set strategy, control the brand's direction, and answer only to his new private investors rather than to shareholders in Stuttgart. That's a fair point, but it cuts both ways. Rimac now has to make Bugatti profitable, genuinely profitable, without the financial cushion of one of the world's largest automotive conglomerates behind him. He has to convince ultra-high-net-worth buyers to keep paying multi-million-dollar prices for hypercars at a moment when the most watched documentary evidence about those cars shows that their service model is dramatically inflated and their components substantially shared with mainstream vehicles. That's a harder sell than it was 2 years ago. The honest answer about what caused this sale is probably some combination of 3 things. First, Matt Armstrong's exposés genuinely damaged Bugatti's brand value. If prospective buyers, people with the means to spend $3 or $4 million on a hypercar, watched those videos and started questioning whether the exclusivity justification holds up, that softens demand. Softened demand lowers projected revenues. Lower revenues make a 45% stake in Bugatti Rimac look less attractive on a balance sheet under pressure. Second, Porsche's financial crisis is real and independently sufficient. A 93% profit collapse forces asset sales regardless of brand sentiment. No YouTube video needed. When your core business is bleeding, you liquidate non-core positions. Full stop. Third, mate Rimac may have wanted this. Independence from corporate oversight has obvious appeal for a founder. If Bugatti's brand value looked temporarily depressed, partly due to negative press, partly due to market conditions, that's actually a window for a buyout. Porsche might accept a lower valuation. Private investors with a longer time horizon might see value that a quarterly earnings-driven corporation can't afford to hold. The truth is probably all 3 converging at once. Matt's exposés applied pressure. Porsche's finances forced a decision. Mate Rimac saw opportunity. Everything arrived at the same moment. Bugatti is independent. Mate Rimac controls it. A consortium of private investors has backed it. And the brand must now prove it can survive and profit without Volkswagen Group support. while millions of people have watched video evidence that strips away a significant part of its mythology. The question isn't whether Matt Armstrong directly caused Porsche to sell. Maybe he did. Maybe the financial collapse would have forced this outcome regardless. What matters is that the perception exists, and perception shapes reality in the luxury hypercar market more than almost anywhere else. Bugatti sold the idea of absolute, unreachable exclusivity. Matt Armstrong proved that idea was, at least in part, a very expensive fiction. Now Mate Rimac has to rebuild it,